Cool. Good morning. Let's see. I am streaming. I am recording. Cool. We got at least one person in the chat. Hey, Lucas. All right. So this is the sort of kickoff of what I've been calling working in public, or WIP, which definitely has no aliases with anything. I wrote up a little agenda. There's a pull request for it on GitHub on Ergot. I think it's pull request 64. But it's really just this document, so you're not missing much if you're just watching my screen. But I'm James. I've been working on a project called Ergot for a couple weeks or months now. I usually do consulting. I'm right in between some customers, so I've got something starting like mid-September, and so I've got kind of 5 weeks to kill. So I figured instead of letting that time go or relax like you might do, I'm going to work on Ergot in public and try and get it to a place where people can use it. Oh, hey, second person. Hey, real double. Try and get it to a place where it's sort of stable or it's more usable, or just really see how far I can get in 5 weeks. I've been wanting to try and test doing stuff in public, which might mean like publishing stuff more continuously, or doing video or like sync calls like this more often, so people can participate and watch and see how it goes and just see what my progress looks like day to day. So this is day one of week one of what's probably going to be 5 weeks. I don't know, every day, but I'm going to try and make a pretty concerted effort for it. So I'm just going to run on the agenda. If you have questions in chat, let me know. I'll probably look at them closer to the end, but feel free to throw whatever you want in chat or just kind words. I'm surprised that people are here because it's 10:30 a.m. in Europe, which is kind of early for Europe folks. They're probably just starting their actual workday. North America folks, unless you're a late owl, you're probably not here. But maybe there's some folks in New Zealand who are just on time for this. But so what Ergot is? Ergot is a messaging library. So I've been trying to figure out how to describe it best. I started by calling it a network stack because it handles kind of everything down to the bottom layer. I've more recently been calling it a messaging library. Really what it is it's a library that I'm writing to make it easier to connect any device. So I work a lot with embedded systems. I have a lot of like very tiny embedded devices, and I don't want to talk to them like they're tiny baby embedded systems. I want to talk to them like they're real network devices that have sockets, and I can communicate with them and make it really easy to like throw together essentially microservices for microcontrollers. Like if I have a motor controller or a temperature sensor or whatever, I want to just stream data from the sensor. I want to be able to stream data to the motor controller, or I want to be able to trigger firmware updates and things like that through not an egregiously painful protocol. I've done a lot of work with Postcard over the years. In terms of protocol, I started formalizing that into Postcard RPC. Ergot's kind of like the next step up, where it's an attempt to like stitch all of that together so people don't really have to build their own building blocks very often. So yeah, we'll get into it more, but why I'm working. So that's what Ergot is. Why I'm working in public for 5 weeks. If I have a request for requests, if something would be interesting to see in the development process, let me know. Right now, I'm kind of thinking maybe I do a daily kickoff, maybe I do a daily wrap up video kind of thing, 15-20 minutes. Pretty easy to contain or to consume video, and then as many written artifacts as I can get away with. My hope is to cheat and keep use people being interested in it to keep me working on it and keep me honest and focused, and not dive down any yak shaving paths, or at least try and limit that, because if I'm checking it every day, hopefully it becomes clear when I get really stuck on something and I can kick myself out of that loop. So I'm going to try and focus on problems. I've been watching a lot of Hinchin's video, the original author of Zero MQ. And one of the things that he talks about is making projects easier to contribute to. So that means like when people come along with a pull request, just merge it and get people involved. It's hilarious because this is one of those things that I really loved from Matt Cloud or Alexei Kladov, who talked about this for so long, and then I started watching the Zero MQ videos recently and went, oh, he's saying the exact same things you do. And he goes, yeah, I got it from him. So, trying to make Ergots easy for people to use and then easy to contribute back to. There's not a whole ton of docs right now. I've been mostly working on this for funsies. So, yeah, that's kind of the thing that I want to focus on this week is make Ergot nicer for new users, so people who want to just use Ergot. I've had a couple of people who have started using it or played around with it or have tried it out, which has been really nice. So I'd like to get more folks doing that, and then getting new contributors. There's been some pull requests, maybe some things like that, but I've probably written 99% of the code, if not 100% of the code. So I'd like to make it easier for people to jump in and start hacking on it, because I've got 5 weeks, and then I got to go do something for a client for a while, and it'd be nice if Ergot didn't just pause for those weeks that I was gone or slow way down. So my hope is for this week is to get Ergot in a place where it's easy for people to at least follow along or jump in or things like that. And then we'll see what happens. You got to kind of get the ground ready and then see what grows. So yeah, that's this week. I really just want to focus. So I've got 5 weeks here. Like I said, mid-September is when I cut off. So it's 5 calendar weeks. So we'll see what I get done. I'm hoping to spend a week on this. We'll see how far I get. If it's more, it's more. If it's less, it's less. But I'm kind of cool spending 20% of my time in doing docs and getting prepped. We'll see how that goes. And then for today, trying to be real honest about what makes Ergot not easy to pick up. It's a brand new R&D project. It's got a lot of gaps. Anyone who wants to look around and tell me what they don't understand, I'll put a link to the chat. There's a Matrix chat that I have. I've been using the Namas room for that. So feel free to drop by there. I'll put a link in this document. So if you look at the pull request, it's oh, by the way, this repo, I think I put a link to the pull request in the description of this video. So click on that. So I'm going to work on that today. We'll see how far I get. I'm going to check in at the end of the day. So the next steps are generally I'm going to do something at the end of the day. End of the day is probably defined as something like 7 p.m. Central CEST. Hey, Remrevo. So I'll probably check in at some point. We'll see if that continues being a video or if that becomes a written artifact. I don't know. I'm just going to try some stuff, and especially this first week, we're just going to figure stuff out. So keep showing up. Tell your friends. Come hang out at the next one. Ask questions in chat, and I'll keep doing it. Make it fun for me, and I'll keep doing it. So, and then tomorrow, maybe I'll do the same thing, like 10:30 kickoff. It seems to work for me. It's when I've usually woken up and had my first coffee and feel presentable. So maybe we'll stick with that. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I don't have much more. I'm going to start just hacking. I'm going to always talk on Blue Sky. Like, I'm going to be public there. I'm pretty responsive in Matrix chat. So if you drop by the Namas Matrix chat, I'm happy to answer any questions there. Otherwise, keep an eye on my Blue Sky. I'll set up another live stream maybe around 7 p.m. or something. Do another like 15, 20 minutes thing like that. So if you're in chat right now and you have questions, now would be an excellent time to ask them. Otherwise, I'll probably wrap up, call it 10 minutes. Not upset with that for a Monday morning kickoff. But yeah, we'll see if people like showing up to this. We'll see if more people can show up in the afternoon. If you can't make this and you want to ask questions, open up an issue in Ergot, and I'll answer it in tomorrow's kickoff or tonight's teardown. I don't know what the opposite of a kickoff is, but yeah, thanks for coming along. Like I said, I'll hang out for another minute. So if you're in chat and you have things to ask now. Otherwise, I'm gonna polish this PR up. I've got this in a you probably can't see that much, but in the Ergot notes directory, I just have a directory called WIP for working in public. So I'll probably add a README to that top level of the folder, and then I'm just putting things by date. So this is 2025-08-11 kickoff. That's today's date, and so I'll probably have a 2025-08-11 wrap up. Yeah, I don't see any questions in chat. So cool. Put on your thinking hats if you're watching this, watching the recording of this. Thank you. Hello. Sorry for choosing an inconvenient time. Otherwise, I'll see you all in like not quite 8 hours. I guess like 7 hours, 6.5, 7 hours. What about discussion, Remrevo? What about discussion instead of issues? Sure. I don't know. Try to prefer those places where the goal isn't explicitly solving a problem. Yeah, open a discussion. If you, yeah, I don't use. Well, I guess I was gonna say I don't use GitHub discussions, but we use those for the embedded working group stuff, and it does work pretty well. So, yeah, open up a discussion, start getting active there. I'm happy to answer any questions, and then basically, if you ask me a question, I'm going to turn it into docs, and so you asking questions is going to help me. So, yeah, please do open discussions. Yeah, hell yeah. However people want to interact. Cool. Then, yeah, if you're watching the recording, thank you. See you all in like 7.5 hours. I'm excited. Oh, yeah, I might need to configure that. Yeah, I'll configure that. Okay, cool. Thanks, Rem. Everyone have a good day.